Good evening and welcome to Kevs Talks. I was in 2 miles whether to make this video tonight. I've had quite a busy day helping my parents out and doing other bits as well. I was kind of 2 miles to do this video, but I thought, no, I'll give it a go. And yeah, I'm really pleased that I decided to put the camera on and record a video. So it's been an interesting couple of weeks. I haven't posted a video for a while. There won't be so much Jesus-like or Jesus that type of thing as a video, because it's a slightly different video to the previous one. So the main thing I did get done is I have an eye test, as probably most people do with glasses, every couple of years, and I actually got some new glasses. So these are the new ones, but the strange thing is, you probably can't see it, but the glasses problem is I struggle to go into a glasses shop, look at 50,000 pairs and know what to choose. So these are actually new frames, but they're the same model and design as the last ones I had. And the reason I chose them, because what I like about these glasses is the half frame glasses, so you don't get the frame in your vision at the bottom. It's like a bit more of a blur when you got the glasses on, so it suits me better than having full frame glasses. But I do still like the rigidity of part of a frame now. I've seen a lot of frameless ones, I'm just thinking I don't know if they'd really last and whether they get broken easy. But this frame, the Botanic range, I think it is, from Boots, is brilliant. They do a fantastic job, look really good on the eyes, and I like them. And Boots aren't the cheapest for glasses, they're really not, but they do a good customer service than other places do, so you kind of don't mind spending a little bit more when you're going for glasses. It's something I certainly didn't. Whereas Specsavers, you could pay 90 quid and get a pair for glasses, fantastic. For one pair from Boots, about 250 quid, which they aren't cheap, but considering you use them for 2 years pretty much. And yeah, I took the insurance out this time. It's a new thing they're offering, which is £15 for the first year. Not that I'll probably need it, because my old glasses with the same frame lasted 2 years and they're still good glasses. I keep them as spares when doing jobs in the garden, or when I'm doing DIY where sawdust might try and get in my eyes. And they're actually, I found Boots to be really good, whereas a lot of other places, they kind of, Specsavers didn't agree with prescription. They try always the sales tax, so you need these type of glasses, then you need these ones. It just gets really expensive. So I stuck the single pair of glasses, had the special coating which protects it from glare, etc., and stuff like that. And you know what, they're nice glasses, can't fault them really, to be honest. They're absolutely fantastic glasses, do exactly what I want them to do, which is obviously my left eye. So this one in the video had got a bit worse on the prescription. And the weird thing is, well, I'll tell you, this is a weird thing. So with my old glasses, I need to wear them pretty much all the time. But then with the new ones, it's so strange. Whether, I don't know what's going on, but I can actually cope with glasses not wearing them so much. Sure, I wear them for driving, but I can quite happily sit and watch the football. Yes, I can't read the fine text on the screen, but I can make people's faces out in detail. So sometimes I don't wear them. I kind of just basically sit there and watch a bit of telly, or look, I got my phone on me or my laptop, and I just do that. And that kind of brings me on to another topic of what I've been up to in the past couple of weeks, and since not recording any more videos for a while. And the thing I did today, I bought this nice little, so I've repaired laptops for years now, done one MacBook and things like that as well. So I noticed my HP Spectre 2-in-1 was getting a bit hot near the fans, and I thought I really need to have a look at what's going on. So in IT terms, you get cans of compressed air, which can not just clean computers but get dust out of stuff. Basically, you can get a tin of it for about £2 or £3 on Amazon. You could buy packs of etc. But thinking from an environmental perspective, I think it's a very unenvironmentally friendly way. So I invested in a little device for £36. It's an electronic rechargeable one. And it was actually really good. I mean, you might think, well, surely can a compressor is cheaper, but this little air duster thing's going to last me for years. I just have to charge it. And yeah, so it's first time. I had the laptop 2 years, bought it brand new. I thought, yes, I know how to repair computers and replace screens and stuff. But I took the warranty on it, but I didn't use it this time. I thought, well, it's getting a bit hot, which is usually your fans, your cooling fans in it are getting a bit clogged up. So sure enough, when I took the back cover off the laptop, which was actually really easy to take apart, 4 screws in the back, use a guitar pick to prise it open carefully, and yeah, one of the fans was really clogged with dust. So I've got a little paintbrush as well, so just get a brush out. Always wear an anti-static wrist strap when you're working with computers, because certain electrical components are sensitive to the voltage you produce just by generating electricity yourself. So I plugged that in. I got a special little lead I made and plugged it in, give it a good clean out, and I've not turned it back on yet. I will a bit later, but it's just I've been mostly watching the World Cup. I've really enjoyed watching the World Cup this year, and not just for watching England play and being patriotic just England. It's more enjoyable to enjoy the other games, like the other teams playing. Because what I find with football is when your team is not at stake, if it's not they've got to win, you can just enjoy football for the game. And it's probably one of the first years where I've truly watched a World Cup. I think I did a little bit in the Euros a couple of years back, but this is the first football tournament where I've watched other games playing that aren't England. And yes, that's my national squad, England. And funny enough, talking of football, my actual domestic team is Norwich. Now Norwich is in Suffolk, or Norfolk, sorry, not Suffolk. And yeah, I supported them because our family connections that way, and that's why I have a bit of a twanger to my voice. So when I say, some people say computer, I can say computer. I have that bit of a twanger to my voice, and some people still actually sound like I'm from Birmingham, which, because my dad's side of the family is from Lincolnshire and my mum's is from Norfolk side, so it kind of, there's hints of both in there, and it's quite interesting when you look at it. But yeah, so Norwich is my home football team, and this is sound really weird, but I've never been to a live Norwich match. I'm going to go one day. I'd just love to see them play, see how they get on and all of that. But yeah, so I've not seen Norwich play for a long time, and I kind of would love to. Or not seen them at all, sorry, not a long time, but not at all. And I've been to local football matches before for the Tulips in Spalding, but I just think this, what I love about the World Cup or any football is it brings people together for X amount of weeks during a tournament. Pretty much everybody just has a good time. They're sharing those emotions, those human experiences, and it's fantastic. I think it's brilliant that people are doing that, because it's what humanity is about, sharing those experiences and connections. And I'm on LinkedIn. I've got my account on LinkedIn, and somebody posted something which was very interesting about, will there be, what side would you go on, human creation or AI creation? Now, I think in the future, with all this AI art about music and all of that, what I think people really crave is human connection on content. And the reason for that is people like to have the story, the emotions behind what's been created. obviously with a computer it could probably tell you what it created, but what inspired a computer or AI to create a piece of art? A prompt where it uses lots of reference material from drawings to other art to build that what it created. Whereas humanity is a very different experience. An art to me, I find this. You may be different, but art to me should be about generating conversations and questions. A good mate of mine, Jonathan, he does music. He plays guitar. He plays piano, and he just loves it. And his stuff is fantastic. And it's just like you get talking about it. It's the same with the World Cup. We speak on the WhatsApp about, oh, what's happening, this is brilliant goal, and who each other is rooting for in to win it on not on a non-English team, England rather. And yeah, it's just good. It's a good bit of banter, and I think it's fantastic. And I think football does bring people together, helps break down boundaries where for a time period they're not in wars or conflicts and stuff like that. Yes, the conflicts in the world are horrible going on at the moment. You look at like Iran and America, you look at Israel and Lebanon and all the surrounding states, you've got Russia versus Ukraine. I just think it needs a bit of care in the world and love in the world, I think, really. And I think we just kind of get caught up in news articles and how the media portrays that the world's on fire and all of that. And I try not to watch too much news anymore because I like the good stories. Yes, it's important to report on the worst of stories. It needs visibility, but certain media outlets like the BBC, other media outlets, they will have a set agenda on what gets reported on their channel. And you've got to ask yourself the question, you're paying that for your TV licence, so surely it should be about stuff you want to see on the news, not their agenda on what should be on there. So ask yourself that, do you want to see BBC News, their set agenda, or should they be showing more so that people say, yes, some of the programmes are really good. Simon Reeves, The America's brilliant programme. His broadcasting style, his presentation style is brilliant. It's very down to earth. You can put it on for a bit, watch it. It's absolutely fantastic. And there's a couple of the TV gems that I like. It's Wheeler Dealers. And the reason I like Wheeler Dealers is because I like cars. Not for the fastest and all they're all souped up with nitrous oxide and 5-litre V8 engines, all that. But I just find the repair process fascinating. It's kind of very soothing. You can just sit there watching Ant Anstead or Elvis repair the cars, and Mike tries to get in there and do a bit of a dodgy deal, not a dodgy deal, but a deal on there, a bit of a deal to sell the car. And it's just a fantastic bit of TV, and so is Shed and Buried and those types of programs, because this is a weird thing. The older I've got into I'm going to be 50 in 5 years' time, and the older you get, you kind of appreciate different types of TV programs. If you'd asked me in my 20s, would I watch a load of blokes going on furniture hunts or scavenger hunts in sheds, I said, you must be joking. It sounds like an old program, and it's very funny because you gain wisdom with age and your insights change into what you watch and listen to. And yeah, I'm grateful. I mean, I've learnt loads more about myself by living back at my parents' house. Yes, I live at my parents' house, and that was because my marriage broke down, and it was during COVID, so I moved back to mum and dad's, and we get on really well. And yeah, I help them out, and that brings me on to another point I wanted to cover in what I've been up to the past couple of weeks. So Dad likes his gardening, and my brother probably about a month ago now, because they're in full bloom, planted some plants in the garden. I've been watering them during the summer, trying to keep them hydrated and all of that as well. And my brother put some tomato plants in one of his smaller greenhouses. And yeah, so my job today, I thought, well, I hadn't done this before, so a new thing to do, but I figured it out. And tomato plants need support in terms of canes or stakes to stop them just flying across the ground and being consumed by their own weight of the tomatoes. So I put some canes in, supported the ground, and I was really pleased. And it's kind of weird because whether I've watched other people do it, whether I've got a very good visual memory, so my short-term memory isn't very good, but I've got a fantastic long-term memory, but my visual memory is fantastic. And whether I'd seen something, but I didn't use string, I used bits of garden wire, because the reason garden wire is so good is you need something else to hold it while you're doing the string, and string you can pull it too tight, but you cut a length about a couple of inches long, and you just want to lightly tighten the end of it, leave a bit of gap there, and keep an eye on the plants as they're growing, because you don't want to restrict the growth by yanking the wire really tight or the string. Have about a 5mm gap around it just so the plant's got room to grow. So that was one thing I did today that I was really pleased with. So I've done my servicing of my laptop, which I'm going to turn on a bit when I upload this video. And it was just nice because I thought I wanted to give it a go. I've done it before, and yeah, the fan was clogged up. So the other thing I had to deal with this morning, that we had a couple of ants in, like throughout in the kitchen. I thought, oh, there's probably a couple of them. So I tried to deal with them, sort them out, and then there were more of them this morning. So I just thought, where are they coming from? And the thing with ants is they could come from anywhere, through the back walls in the back garden. They get everywhere. So I don't know where they come from, but when I lifted the blind up, there was about, honestly, no word of a lie, all huddled together, about 200 to 400 ants. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me. So I had to get the antibacterial spray out, the cleaner, soak that whole area. Yes, unfortunately, some ants did die. I mean, I don't like, hand on heart, I don't like killing animals. I hate it. And that's why I don't like bees to sting me, because they die after they sting people. And I kind of didn't want the ants to die, but the problem with ants is, unlike other animals you could keep out, unfortunately there has to be some casualties. So I ordered some bait box things. I've ordered them off Amazon. So Amazon's really good for that sort of thing. So I've ordered them. I thought, right, I'll get some bait boxes, try them out, so we'll give them a go and see how they get on. And I'm hoping they'll do the trick. And also I found a good natural recipe by asking AI to say, how do you deal with ants? And you mix white vinegar, equal parts water, wipe it on the surfaces, because what that does is when ants go on a path, they release a pheromone, chemical pheromone, to tell other ants, oh, I've gone down this path, it's kind of successful, I found the food. So what the white vinegar does is it disrupts those pheromones, it destroys them. So if you wipe the area around the food, ants think, oh, there's no food here, there's no trail, no other ant's been where we are. And I had quite a bit of success with that today. I do think the war of the ants, or the war of the world, so I'm going to call it, ant versus humanity. And also I don't like killing stuff, I just wish the ants would stay outdoors, which I know they're looking for food, and I've tried to deal with some bits to try and help them to not come into the house. So bait boxes are kind of one of those things that I think, well, actually, I'm going to get some bait boxes. They're like a tenner off Amazon, or £8 or whatever, so I'm going to try them. They arrive Tuesday, but I may still pop out tomorrow to get some interim ones, because Tuesday's quite a long way to wait in the heat. They might come back, and the amount of ants you have to dispose of, unfortunately, is a lot, because in a typical colony in the UK there could be 5,000 to 7,000 worker ants in one colony. And there's a difference why I use not white, I don't know why I'm mentioning wine, I don't drink, but the difference between white vinegar and brown vinegar is the use of different things. And brown vinegar, or malt vinegar shall we say, is distilled from beer, the beer, same brewing process as beer, whereas white vinegar is distilled like you would do a spirit, like vodka or gin or white rum. You would use those type of techniques, so they have different things they're better at. So we'll have to just see how it goes next couple of days. I'll pop into town tomorrow, get some bait boxes and put some around outside. And my brother suggested something interesting: put a bit of jam somewhere so they all get attracted to that and stay away from the house. That would work, but if it's not baited, you'll just get more ants. You'll be feeding the colony, they get even bigger, then you'll have even more ants come into the house. So it's about doing the right thing. It's sad to say that, because what gives humanity the right to decide whether ants should survive or not? It's just such a shame, really is. And yeah, so that's been that. And the other thing I've been working on, so I've been building, so my website CMS system is all home built, so I've not used WordPress or Cake PHP. I did it as a challenge over 10 years ago, started the project over 10 years ago. I don't often talk about my projects because I just don't feel need to or want to do it, not to be rude or anything, but I just think there's other systems out there that, like Laravel and things like that in PHP. So I've worked with PHP, .NET, all sorts of languages, including Java and Python. And so this CMS system was built 10 years ago, and it's a very good system. So I built it 10 years ago, so I use my website to put my art on, my images, blog posts. It's brilliant. So the other thing I've been doing with this is I've been building an e-commerce section to it. So my brother's into his photography, he's urbexing, and he's got a drone and he loves it. His photography is brilliant, and I've been building a shop from the ground up because I looked at things like Shopify, but Shopify has lots of charges. I thought, because I didn't have WordPress, I could have used WooCommerce if I'd adapted it, but I thought no. And using my expertise, computer expertise, I actually built a shop. So the last section of that is raw mail integration. So you have, for certain business functions, you have to be registered as a business to be able to send company click and drop. Yes, you could do it as a user, but it's just cleaning with business. So I've set up raw mail integration. It's got to be tested, which I'm hoping to do at some point. So I've been learning a lot about building a shop. I've worked for companies where I've managed systems that integrate with shops. So, and I've built another shop before that was for a place where I used to work for, and it was good. I looked at it, it looked really flashy, it looked really good, and then another role became available, so I decided to step into that one, so I never continued it on. But it's been a real learning experience, because stakeholders are different when they're family, because family will have different views, and probably the same with clients as well, that you do something, they may think it's completely different, and that's why you have to look at the visual styles, all of that as well, and see how it all kind of fits together. And that's what I find fantastic about doing websites. So yes, I've been building a shop. Hopefully it'll be launched later this year. We're looking at hardware at the moment and stuff like that. And yeah, so this is kind of well, I say shorter video. I do apologise, it's 24 minutes long or just over. But that's kind of what I've been up to. I've just been doing a bit more drawing as well. One of my pieces of art is going to be in a magazine. I've not put it on my website. Kavita, she's got exclusive access to it in a magazine, so I'll be sharing a link to that at some point so you can view it, and then you'll be able to see it. It's a bit of a different one. I don't want to give too much away, because that's what I want people to see. Is it's this is what I believe is about, is helping each other's out. So I connected with Kevs on LinkedIn about a couple of years back, or probably a year, 2 years, and we kind of like each other's content. She does some really fantastic stuff from the magazine, and then she asked me to do a drawing. But the difference was there was no, she didn't say what it has to be. I had free reign, complete free reign, which as an artist it's fantastic. So I did a drawing, it took me about 4 hours. It was a bit more of a special piece, whereas I can do a drawing about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it's good. So it was a bit more of a different piece, and I wanted to have a bit of a message to it. So please check out her magazine when it comes out, because it's going to be fantastic, and I hope people like it. So yeah, so that's kind of it, and just little bits like, and the other thing I will say, I've got a countdown on my camera that says I've got 4 minutes left, so I'll try and wrap this up. But for the past 2 and a bit months, I've slowly been losing weight because I've been cutting takeaway food out. Not because I've been told by the doctor, but I just wanted to give it a go. But there is a golden rule that you can sort of still have a nice burger from Wendy's, for example, and that is you have to sit in. So if anybody's looking to lose weight, then try go and sit in at a restaurant as opposed to getting it delivered or driving up there and bring it back in the car, because I think it's less likely to order stuff if you know every time you've got to go to a restaurant and have a meal. And that's the other thing, is by going and sitting down and not having so many takeaways, I've also cut sugar out as well. So much sugar, fizzy drinks, chocolate, sweets, they've all gone. And I'm being really strict with myself because I want to lose about a couple of stone. And I think because, yes, you could argue, well, you don't look too big, but that's because I'm quite a large frame person. I'm 6'2", so I'm quite tall anyway, but I just want to do it more to see if I can do it. So yeah, so I've cut a lot of stuff out. I have a couple of pints of water before I go to bed, as opposed to sugary drinks or anything like that. So yeah, so I hope you've really enjoyed this video tonight. It's more of just what has Kev been up to, no religious context too much. So I try to do a bit of a different vibe with this video. So I really hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, thank you so much for watching.